What's going on YouTube? This is Zombie John Marston making my very first deck profile, and as you can tell by the title, this is a Skull Sermon deck, and I would like to hear your guys' opinion on how to make this deck as competitive as possible. Now for starters, I run 3 Zombie Master. I get to send a monster from my hand to the graveyard to special summon a level 4 or lower zombie type monster. Very good. Next is 3 Kings. His effect is that he gains 1,000 for each Skull Servant card in the graveyard. His second effect is that if he gets destroyed by a battle, highly unlikely, you get to banish 1 Skull Servant card from your graveyard to special summon him in attack mode. And what some people do for him in some decks is that you could creature swap him into your opponent's field, and you get their monster, and you have a higher monster that's like higher attack than him, which is most likely since they won't be really running any Skull Servant cards. You get to attack him, activate his effect because you controlled it, and banish 1 Skull Servant card, bring him back, and whatever remains in the graveyard, he gains the attack, and then attack again. And I have 3 Lady in Wights. Her effect, she's a really good defender with a badass effect. You can see here. You can any level 3 or lower zombie type monsters. They cannot be destroyed by battle as long as she's on the field, and spell or trap cards. But the sad thing is that they can't be protected by monster effects. The only bad thing. And yeah, even her effect still applies to, while she's face up, and your level 3 lower zombie type monster cards are face down. Then you have 3 Wightmare. His effect is amazing. If I have a Skull Servant that's banished, I get to special summon either King or Lady in White. But if it's Wightmare himself or the regular Skull Servant, they go back into the grave. I have plenty of combos that go with this. Then I have 3 regular Skull Servants, just to boost them up, obviously. Then I have 2 Mezukis. I literally can't believe he's limited to 2 now. I can banish him to special summon Lady in White, the first Mezuki, to special summon Lady in White in defense mode, and then special summon another Mezuki, another King of the Skull Servants on the field, and if I have all of the Skull Servants in a graveyard, and I only have 2 of them on the field, I will have 9,000 attack for 1 King of the Skull Servants, and he'll be protected by, say, Mirror Force, or basically he is protected by he's unaffected by spells or trap cards. Then I have 2 Plaguespreaders. His effect is that I get to return 1 card from my hand to the top of my deck, special summon him, but when he leaves the field, he gets banished. But I have come up with a combo with to use him as extra materials for Gachis to save him. And he's very good for synchro summoning. 1 Bacon Saver. His effect is that during the battle phase, I can negate 1 attack in either player's battle phase. The only downside is that his effect can only last once per duel. Next, I got 2 Necros. His effect is basically the same thing as Bacon, except that I can use him as many times as possible, so long as I can putting him back into the graveyard. Then I have, for the Lightsworns, I have 2 Lylas. Effect is that I get to switch her to defense mode to destroy 1 spell or trap card in my opponent's side of the field. And at the end phase, I get to mill 3. Then I have 2 Luminas. I get to summon a Lightsworn monster from my graveyard by sending one card. Doesn't matter what card it is, monster, spell, or trap, to bring a Lightsworn. Now say if I have Lyla in the graveyard, discard any card I want, special summon her, switch her defense, and then destroy a card. Now I know what you're thinking, that her downside is that her defense is 200, but if I had a Mezuki in the graveyard and a Zombie Master, I get to banish Mezuki, special summon Zombie Master, so that way I could special summon a rank 4 Xyz monster. Then I have 2 Rykos. When he's flipped, I get to destroy 1 card on the field, monster, spell, or trap, then mill 3. 1 Ehren. I get to get rid of any defense position monsters, like say Marshmallow or Spirit Reaper, or some of those annoying cards. Or if say I can combo with Maestroke and then attack any annoying monsters that I don't want. Works very well, and then in phase I get to mill 3. 1 Dandylion. I mainly use him for either protecting myself or using him as the tokens as synchro materials. Very good. His effect only works when he's sent to the graveyard in any ways, like from banished to graveyard, or field to graveyard, or deck to graveyard. 2 Book of Lives. I get to special summon a zombie type monster from my graveyard, and I get to banish 1 monster from my opponent's graveyard. 1 Charge of the Light Brigade. Get to mill 3, search for Lightsworn, look for either Lumina or Lyla, depending on the situation. 1 Destructive Power Dark Hole. Self-explanatory, destroy all monsters on the field. 1 Burial from a Different Dimension. This card is too good in this deck. I get to if I have any of my Necro Gardnas or Mezukis that are banished, I can use this card to bring them back, and then redo them all over again. 1 for 1. Send a monster card from my hand to the graveyard to special summon a level 1 monster from my hand or deck. 1 Allure of Darkness. Draw 2, banish 1 dark monster. This is very good with my Skull Servant deck. I can banish King of the Skull Servants, then use Wightmare's effect to then have him special summon on the field, and then he'll gain whatever Skull Servant I have in the graveyard. 1 monster Reincarnation to special summon Lumina or any other monster. Or not special summon, I mean return 1 monster card from the graveyard to my hand. Sorry. Now for my traps, I have 2 Needlebug Nest. This card is really, really good. I get to mill 5 cards from the top of my deck, and the chances of getting Skull Servants into the graveyard are very high. That's it for my deck. Oops. Now for, see here, for my extra, I have 1 Slacker. Very good effect. She cannot be destroyed once per turn. She cannot be destroyed by battle, and her defense is 2100. And her other effect is that if she's targeted by a spell, trap, or monster effect, I get to detach 1 Xyz material and then negate and destroy it. Then I have Gachi Gachi. His effect is that for each material he has, my monsters gain 200 attack and defense. And his other effect is that if he gets destroyed, I get to detach 1 Xyz material for him to survive. Next, I have 1 Levier, or Levier, some people prefer. I get to attach 1 Xyz material to bring back a banished level 4 or lower monster. Really good. 1 Acid Golem against I fight a skill drain deck. What some people forget is that I cannot special summon, and for each standby phase I have to either detach a material or I can take 2000. And when he runs out of materials, I cannot attack at all. But very good against a skill drain deck. Then I have 1 Photon. His effect is that I can detach 1 Xyz material to target 1 defense position monster, switch him to attack, and loses 600 attack. And then if I had a King of the Skull Servants with say 9000, I'll be able to finish him off with the Lady in White. Then next we have Gaga Cowboy. I use him to destroy, say, Blue Eyes White Dragon, Suicider, like Kalash, I mean, or Master Hyperion, or any other cards that are from the range of 25 to 2900. And his other effect is that when I switch him in defense mode, if he's in defense mode, I get to detach one Xyz material to so that my opponent will take 800 damage. Next is Maestroke. I use this effect with Ehren so that I can get rid of those annoying cards. Also, that his real effect is that I can switch a monster to set from face up to face down set defense position. Sorry. And also he cannot be destroyed unless I detach Xyz material. Then I have Utopia, self-explanatory, gets to negate attacks. Next I have Ally of Justice Catastor. I use him to get rid of Master Hyperion, Marshmallow, any other of those annoying cards that are non-dark. Good for it. That's why you have Plaguespreader. I also have Revive King. His effect is really good. If I have King on the field, if I destroy any monster, like say Preborn Frog or Necro Gardna, their effects are permanently negated, even if Revive King is removed from the field later on. Then I have Void Ogre Dragon. His effect is that I get to get rid of, if I have no cards in my hand and my opponent activates a spell or trap card, I can negate it once per turn. His attack and defense are really good. They're 3,000 each. And that's it for my extra deck. Now, I know there are some cards that I'm missing. They're really, really good, like Lavalval Chain and Blackship of Corn and Diamond Direwolf, which I desperately need. But yeah, if I had those cards, this deck would be incredible. As soon as I get them, I will re-explain what I can do. Just let me know in the comment section below to see what I need in this deck so that I can make it as fast as possible. And thanks for watching my video.